Pizza, cheese curd tacos. All right, here we go. Pizza, cheese curd tacos.
Please. These gays. They're trying to murder me.
It's cultural swine, bitch. Now where's the blow?
You can blow me, I'm gay. Blow me, I'm gay.
What is it with these fucking male streamers? Trying to piss off female streamers. Like you try to piss off female streamers and then when you get a reaction that you wanted, you go, why are you so emotional? Like, yo.
Shout out to your son, Rampage Jr.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist.
No, you don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't dare fucking prove it! You fucking body catch
Why you fucking me down?
You're fucking cat bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
this
the knife.
fuck away from us!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch it!
That's it. That's it. Show the knife.
You guys can leave!
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fuck!
But if that dude wakes up and somebody's in his ear and goes, dude, you gotta make this dude pay. He has to learn a lesson and he presses charges. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Attempted murder, aggravated assault, it's tough. Shout him out felony, you know.
600,000 students from the communist country of China, putting America first.
Of a black security guard rifling through the pockets of an unconscious white guy that got his ass kicked.
MSNBC sucks.
Hey, how are you?
MSNBC sucks.
Yo. What's good, fam? Another solo cast of the Cultural Swine podcast. And, what is it? Tuesday? Day after Monday, Labor Day. Hope everyone had a, stellar day off to celebrate working for the most, down-to-earth, genuine companies that run this world. So I'm glad that everyone got to take one day to celebrate how hard they work for those companies, and to celebrate those companies as well for being so genuine and, like I said, down to earth and there for the American people and their employees. Now I wonder if all the Indians and other foreign H-1B individuals got the day off as well, or I wonder if it was just Americans and the H-1B motherfuckers were holding it down for us. No clue. But yeah, back again. Wanted to record yesterday, but like I said, Labor Day, had some plans, had some people over for the day to celebrate how hard our country works for the best and most genuine companies in the world, and we had a good time. Hit some hikes. It's windy as fuck, I'll tell you that. I don't know what the fuck is going on up in Tucson, Arizona the last couple of days, but Bill Gates or one of those, weather manipulation companies, owners, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they were, testing some shit out up here, I think. I don't know. We had this huge storm come in, and then it looks like it's about to just pour fucking rain. It looks like God's about to whip out his horse cock and drain everyone. Just drench the whole fucking world. And it's dark as shit. Got rain clouds. The wind is insane. You had chemtrails out. Oh, should I say? Oh, you had No, shut the fuck up. We had chemtrails all over the sky all day. Really sketchy, Still see them every now and then, but not as much. But that day, 2 days ago, covered the sky. Chemtrails. And then we have this wannabe fucking fake storm that Bill Faggot Gates sent in from who fucking knows where. And, we think we're going to get a nice little monsoon storm, and no rain comes down, just vicious winds, dark skies, and that goes on for just hours. And the next day, yesterday, is windy as shit again. I'm up in the mountains, running around, and it's hot as shit with I have a huge gust of wind and no other signs of a storm. So I don't know where this fucking wind's coming from. Whole lot of shit, heavy metals up in the sky. Thank you, weather manipulation, and I have no clue what was going on. Not normal. I probably sound like a fucking retard trying to explain it, but it was weird. It's still windy today. And less clouds, obviously. I don't see any chemtrails across the sky. So I guess God's not racking out lines today. No lines for God today. But, yeah. I just thought I should share that. But, yeah, I had a good Labor Day. We had a nice little diverse DEI crowd yesterday at the house for dinner and what people call sports now, but I call them backyard games. We were playing some cornhole, some poor man's golf. Good old jolly time. And when I say diverse, we were diverse. We had Mexican, white, Filipino, you fucking name it, boy, girl. No, we didn't have any school shooters though. We didn't have any school shooters part of the crowd yesterday. So yeah, we cannot invite any trans to the party because we wanted to make sure it was safe and didn't get shot up. But yeah, we had a couple of Filipino individuals over. We had adobo for dinner, good old Filipino dish, and yeah, we played what people, like I said, call sports now, which is cornhole, which is what I believe to be a game that you get blacked out drunk to play. But now you see it on ESPN. So that was my Labor Day. Nice little diverse DEI cornhole playing type of day. But like I said, it was diverse as you can get, but no trans. So I guess we should just address the elephant in the room. Another tranny mass shooter. And this just seems to be, I mean, if you have any sort of pattern recognition, if you are any, if you're even a fraction of a human being and have any reasonable sense to see pattern recognition, you would see that the majority of mass shooters seem to be males that want to be females that get very aggressive and then act out their thoughts on either a school or somewhere where there's going to be a lot of kids. And this one took place at a church. And like I said, you don't even really need to have much information to know who not who did it, but what demographic carried this out. And I mean, anyone, unless you're a fucking retard and had too many boosters this year, could take a guess at what demographic that was this time. And let me pull up some info on this person. Not gonna do too much, but it's interesting. All right, so before I start with this, so if anyone remembers when George Floyd was really high on fentanyl and died because his heart was enlarged, not because he got choked out by a knee on his back, when that happened, and they had his funeral. The person that I've made fun of this person on the podcast before, but I didn't know who it was. I thought it was a random person. The person, if you remember this, there was someone at his funeral, a white individual, wearing a mask, sobbing his eyes out while snot's pretty much running through the mask, out the side of the mask. He's having a total fucking breakdown, and this is on TV. And he's kneeling in front of George Floyd's casket while this is all going down. And it turns out that was the Jewish mayor of Minneapolis who kneeled for George Floyd. He also mocked the parents of the victims at this mass shooting carried out by his beloved demographic, the transgenders. So if I can find that video of him talking about it, because he goes, "This is not a time to attack the trans community." and he just, he's about to start fucking sobbing again. And I don't know why people just stood there and nodded their heads in agreement. I would have raised my hand and go, I honestly think we should take up arms against these fucking weirdos. Honestly, I think we should just all strap up and say, let's go fucking find the fucking weirdos, the chicks with dicks, the dudes that want to change in the bathrooms with women, take over women's spaces, jump in the pool and swim against women. Let's just take up arms and see what's good with them. But obviously that's not what happened. Now, I don't know if I saved it. I hope I did. Maybe not. I guess I did not. But I have this. I think I can find it in here. Damn. Okay, so I can't find it. I thought I could. But yeah, you have that guy that's kneeling in front of fucking George Floyd's fucking casket after he dies, sobbing with snot coming out of the side of his mask, through his mask, because COVID during that time. And, trying to start a race war, essentially. Kneeling in front of George Floyd's casket, sobbing his eyes out as a grown fucking man, acting as if what happened wasn't provoked. It wasn't, there was no merit to it. George Floyd was a fucking great person. That's the same guy kneeling in front of that fucking casket, who's also Jewish. Let me just throw that in there. I know I already did. I just wanted to emphasize it. He is also the individual who, the mayor of Minneapolis, Minnesota, who went on national TV after this shooting happened at a church where 2 children were killed and many more were injured, and said this is not a fucking time to attack the trans community and to be, disrespectful or offensive. And I don't know why every single pussy that was at that fucking rally or that speech or whatever the fuck you want to call it stood silent with their fucking dick in between their legs like a scared little puppy. I would have spit on the guy and said, this is the perfect time to start disrespecting them. The perfect time would have been after the first mass shooter turned out to be a fucking trans woman, which is a biological fucking male. So I think it's the perfect time. And I wish I could fucking find the video of him speaking, because it's just absolutely insane that he would feel that he could do this. But given his religion and, what they're, if the guy wanted to, since he's Jewish, the mayor of Minneapolis, he could probably rape a fucking kid and then fucking flee to Israel if he wanted to. Given what they, given who they bring over there to hide. All right, so hold on. I'm going to look up mayor of Minneapolis. Go to videos. All right, here we go.
The horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation. We are a Minneapolis family. But to everybody out there, do not think of these as just somebody else's kids. Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster. These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance.
But there's trannies walking
These are
around.
the sort of basic assurances that every family should have every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country. I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now. My ask is to everyone, stand by them.
So that was a little different. That was, hold on, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is his name. Jacob Frey, about shooting at Catholic school. All right, so yeah, it's just crazy. So he sounded a little better there. That wasn't the clip that I wanted of him talking about don't attack the transgender community as we should. But I mean, you sounded kind of decent there. But you gotta remember, this is the same guy that knelt before George Floyd's casket with snot running out of his mask, and trying to start a race war. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. So this is from Michael Knowles.
Kids were literally playing on the playground without the fear or.
All right. So here we go.
I have heard all of us, and I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids.
Do you want to know why?
All right, so that's just hilarious to think about, because we shouldn't be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. But when this fucking dumb Jew transgender operates at a place of hate for literal innocents, children, who were, like he said, praying in a church when some of them died, why can't you fight hate with hate? I mean, I'm sorry to sound like a Debbie Downer, but like I don't hate anyone except people that carry out acts like this against just literal innocents, children, and who are also the people that will tell you they're a woman and just spew out the most heinous lies in front of your face and start making people believe them, like younger people, which just only creates more of their demographic because they can't have their own kids. But we shouldn't operate out of place of hate for this demographic. And I just beg to differ. I think we should, because they're violent. They're disgusting. Like Alex Stein said, they're on a bunch of hormones, a bunch of different pills. Every single mass shooting seems to be carried out by a fucking dude that thinks he's a woman, and it's out of a place that's satanic, hateful, heinous, evilness. And for him to sit there and go, we shouldn't treat this community with hate, even though they treat our communities like a church with hate. It's like, no, the dude's a fucking weirdo. Like, we can go through some of his shit. And it seems linked to what I would say a little, I don't know. I think it's linked to multiple different mind control cult programs. One of them being MK Ultra or Project Monarch. I don't know. A lot of these trannies seem to have ties to intelligence or military regarding who their parents are. His mom, so Robin's mother, let me just tell you, his name was, so Robin is his new name because he thinks he's a girl, but he was born with the name Robert, but they changed his name legally to coincide with his gender transition. Now, who allowed this legal transfer of names to happen? His fucking mother, who's a fucking weirdo to begin with. She had a tight association with the school that Robin would target later on. So she actually, I think, worked at the church that he targeted. I already told you he's Jewish. you know, when you look at what he was posting on his YouTube channel, his manifesto and whatnot, if you look at the comments on like how he was able to frame and record with this good of quality so that you could read it like clearly, his manifesto, people are saying that's professionally recorded, how he was able to get perfect lighting, the angle at which he's recording at. That's a little weird. He has marks all over his guns and, magazines, writings, symbols, satanic symbols, one pertaining to the online cult that grooms children. That's called 764. Disgusting shit. Look into them. I think he has a big connection to that. Whether or not our intelligence is actively working with 764, I have no clue, because apparently we have an FBI unit in every single state working to combat this online cult called 764. So FBI is working in every single state to locate these individuals and, do something about it. But it's a global cult. So this cult also operates in other countries as well. And for a short summary of what they are, you can look them up. 764, online grooming cult. They operate on Roblox, Discord, and all those platforms that have chat rooms, essentially. And what they're looking for are vulnerable young kids in which they can, manipulate into sending them maybe at first some nudes or some shit like that. And then what this cult does is they use that now as blackmail for these individuals to do even more heinous stuff. Not only hurting themselves on camera, but killing animals, killing other people, doing other shit. And I hate to call it a challenge, but each time that they get an individual to do something worse from the last time, they use that to now coerce them into doing something even worse than what they just did. And they threaten them with doxing them, their families, all this different type of shit. And these young people don't understand that if they just go to a trusted adult and just tell the truth, things will get better. But in fact, they think, oh, fuck, if I don't do what this sick fuck's telling me to do, like carve his name into my arm on camera, they're going to dox my parents, they're going to dox me, and they're going to release everything I've already done. I'm fucked and have to do this. And so that's what this online cult kind of does. And usually the members are former victims. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it grows off of suffering. So that's a little summary. Look them up. It's disgusting if you have the stomach for it. But yeah, not only did his mom work at the church that he ended up targeting, his father has ties to the CIA and intelligence and different programs that intelligence works on. So that's even fucking weirder. That's what you see with all these fucking shooters. They're a goddamn tranny, usually Jewish. I mean, at this point, I have no clue. And then they have some ties to intelligence or military, whether it's extended family, but usually it's within their actual family. That's usually a parent. So we have that. And I don't know. There's a whole bunch of weird shit going on. I mean, this was definitely something I think that intelligence had a part in. I think the 764 cult had something to do with it. And I also think that Satanism had something to do with it because of just what this individual was posting on his YouTube, what was in his diary, how he acted. I mean, there is a picture that he drew where he was looking at something like Baphomet in the mirror, which is essentially the devil. And he had a gun strapped around his back. The individual drew himself with a gun strapped around his back, looking into the mirror, and in the mirror was the devil looking back. So that's almost like saying he had a demonic possession. And I think that mixed with intelligence, mixed with this satanic cult, mixed with a bunch of fucking pills, hormones, MK Ultra type tactics, you create a school shooter. Not a school, just a mass shooter or a mass killer, we should say. So I mean, I can go deep into this guy and like his back. That's essentially the nice little summary of it. But you can go get all this shit on X or other platforms. But you're gonna find that he had ties to intelligence through his dad. His mom somehow just allowed him to change his name, allowed the transition, was the one that gave the okay. She also worked at the church. He had all these manifestos and writings and drawings in his journal that point to demonic possession, satanic type shit. And then on top of that, you had his guns and the magazines with the bullets. They had writings on them. It's funny that they tried to portray him as anti-Semitic from the writings on his guns and the magazines, but he literally shot up a church. That's a little ironic, don't you think? Given he's also a fucking Jew, but that's just me. Yeah, he had satanic symbols and racist writings on the guns and magazines. Clearly a fucked up individual, but clearly there's more to the story, like I said. So if you want to do some deeper research, I'll keep up with it, but I'm not going to spend the whole hour going into him. He's a fucking weirdo. Just the Minnesota or Minneapolis fucking mayor wants us not to use aggression or hate to combat this fucking, what I would like to say, cult of very aggressive, mentally ill dudes. But maybe we shouldn't listen to the guy that kneeled in front of George Floyd's casket with snot running out of his mask, crying like a little fucking bitch. So that's what I have to say on that. All right. Got Taylor Swift getting married. All right, I'll give my opinion on this. My opinion, if it really even matters. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of funny, right? The year maybe after that ass whooping that the Chiefs got last year by the Eagles, maybe Kelsey giving Swift a ring will somehow manifest him winning a ring this year. It'd be really funny. But I really have nothing to say. Like most people will tell you, in my opinion, or at least, like, this is what I heard from Sam Tripoli. I hear it from a lot of people. Like, the only people that I think actually enjoy Taylor Swift are older white women that have no kids, that have cats, that work in HR, that are kind of miserable, but they tell you they're living their best life on social media. And they fucking live for Taylor Swift, and they live for new music from her. They live from new albums. They don't want her to stop making music, and they don't want her to change the material of her music, which is essentially never settling down and getting married, always in a breakup, always, that boss girl energy. But given Taylor Swift is like one of the most prolific artists of all time, filthy rich, that's okay for her to say, because at one point she will be able to do just that, settle down, get married, have kids. All of her fans that essentially tour her like they're fucking deadheads, like they're doing a Grateful Dead tour and following the band. The fans that follow her are just old white women with no kids. They love drinking Chardonnay after work, which is in an HR department, and they're usually miserable, bitter individuals. A lot of these people actually work as administrators on campuses, and they're just absolute filthy bitches. Cat hair all over their body. They're snarky to anyone younger than them or children because they don't have any, and no one wants to have any with them, and it's become too late biologically to even do it at this point. So I can see why you're miserable, but they want to drag everyone down with them. But I mean, the hysteria you saw from just a simple fucking engagement is also hilarious as well. You had that lady that was a newswoman, an anchor woman, whatever you want to call them. She literally fucking found out while she's on air, and then immediately was like, get it back on me. Get the camera back on me. I want to be the first to break it. I feel like Paul Revere. That's what she said. Whatever he said, the English are coming, or whatever Paul Revere's famous quote was. She said she thought she felt like Paul Revere in this moment. These people are so obsessed with Taylor Swift that it is their life. And so when something like this happens in Taylor Swift's life, like Tim Dillon says, they are living it as it's their life as well. So like, I think Tim Dillon's exactly right. Whatever Taylor Swift does, they live through her because they have no real substance, kids, a meaningful job, etc. in their life. Good sex, these people, I mean, this is essentially what people would call the Karen. I don't like using that word, but this is what that they are. They're the Karens. And no one they're like the boomers. We're kind of just waiting for them to drift off into the abyss so we don't have to listen to them bitch anymore. But now that Taylor Swift is getting married, they're also getting married. Not actually, though, through Taylor Swift getting married. And I think Tim Dillon hit the nail on the head there. But you also have, so you had the anchor woman freak out thinking she's Paul Revere. Just like the 3 retards that went to space thinking they're fucking astronauts. You also had a college professor, I think it was at the University of Tennessee. And I didn't know the University of Tennessee was going gay, but definitely a gay dude. And I think it was a biochem, I heard him say. I think he said at the beginning, we were supposed to have the biochem midterm today. But Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. So I can't focus. I know you can't focus. So we're going to cancel that for today. Class is canceled. We'll figure it out tomorrow or whatever. Like, imagine studying for that midterm and you don't give a fuck about pop culture. You're just some nerd that's trying to do well and just get through this shit and be done. And then your fag professor goes, 2 retards are getting married tomorrow that no one likes. One of them's a fucking Pfizer vaccine shill. The other one makes music for childless, bitter women. They're getting married, so we're going to cancel the midterm that you studied your ass off for and probably have been up for, 15 hours straight studying for. Just go home, do that again. We'll be back tomorrow. I would have spit on him. What? Imagine. So that happened too. You have anchor women and, news women completely breaking down on camera. You have teachers sending students that are supposed to be taking midterms home because he can't focus because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. That's like super gay. That's one of the gayest things I've ever seen. I mean, come on. Doesn't get much gayer than that. But to get to my actual opinion on the marriage, I think as much as I hate Taylor Swift, not only because her music is like objectively not good, it's not good. Like objectively, when you hear a good song, no matter the genre, most people that have any inkling towards like good art, like I think art is objective to a certain point. When you hear a good song, you know it's a good song, whether you like the genre or not. Taylor Swift, her music, I mean, I think she used to make great music when she was doing more of the country stuff. Obviously, she moved out of that. I don't think it was great music, but now her music is like objectively, honestly, on the bad side for me. But that's my opinion. But objectively, I think everyone can agree, unless you're one of these hardcore Taylor Swift fans, that her music is like not that great. So, I mean, she has fame that Michael Jackson once had. And Michael Jackson, his music justified the amount of fame that he had, for sure. But Taylor Swift, her music definitely does not justify the amount of fame and, recognition that she's been able to acquire. I don't know, though. She sells out stadiums, but it's always the same fucking people. And always the same type of song, same type of music, and just little different with the lyrics. Now, as far as the the proposal goes, I hate Travis Kelce too. The dude's a fucking Pfizer shill, fucking vaccine shill. How much money did he get paid to fucking shill for Pfizer and put a Band-Aid on his arm and tell everyone to get an experimental poison shot right into their bloodstream? So who knows how many deaths he's responsible for, and will continue to be responsible for as long as that thing is offered to people. That's my thoughts on the people getting married. Now, the actual marriage and proposal. This is good, maybe. Maybe all the young women that were like, I never want to have kids. I don't want to get married. I just want to live like Taylor Swift. Maybe this will change their mind and kind of push them in the direction of marriage. And God forbid, hopefully she has some fucking kids, because everyone knows the birth rate's going down. Every fucking white bitch wants to be a CEO with 0 kids and live that lifestyle. Maybe T Swift can do something good for us. Get married, change the, thought processes around that within the young generation, and then have some kids to relight that spark that young woman used to have, which was, I want to get married, I want a huge house, I want an insane wedding, and then I want some babies. Is that so much to ask for? All right. But those are my thoughts on that. I think it could be a good thing. As much as I hate the 2 individuals, I think this could be a good thing. All right. Next thing. So, I don't know if you saw, but we had that girl in the UK, the Scottish girl that, here, I'll play the video. It was in one of my intros. So essentially, these 2 girls were filmed. One was wielding like a small axe and a knife, and the other was empty-handed but screaming, "Get away from us! Don't touch us!" Blah 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 blah. The guy recording behind the camera seems to be some foreign migrant that's in the UK, obviously, telling the young girl to put the knives out so we can see him on camera, basically so he can use that to get her in trouble. But there's like way more to this story, and it was just a really weird situation that, I don't know, it's still a weird situation, and it's going in a really weird direction. So if I can play this video, it was in my last intro, by the way, but play it again. All right.
Yes, you have a knife. You don't. Hey, I'm fucking wealthy. You're fucking bad and
Why you fucking me up?
You're fucking kid bashers.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
your
the knife.
fuck away from her.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch it.
That's it. That's it. Show the knife.
Don't get my sister.
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister. She ain't fucking 12. When's the last time you touching me? She is fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate!
Yeah, show the knife.
All right, so yeah, one of the girls goes, "You just battered me." So this guy behind the camera, because the UK is trying to spin this and be like, this guy behind the camera is a Christian man. He was doing nothing wrong. These girls are in the wrong. Just some woke, liberal, Jewish bullshit trying to dismantle a whole fucking continent, which is Europe, which is falling at the moment. But to get back to that, where should I start? Okay, we'll start with this. So there's this page on Twitter X called Aesthetica, and this person spoke with the mom of one of the moms of the girls. So I'll read what she says. All right. I spoke with the mom of one of the girls, Maya, and got the entire story that the media is covering up and lying about. So first of all, the reporting got the names of the girls mixed up. There were 3 girls who were there who were accosted and attacked by the migrants. Lola, which is the girl wielding the knife and the axe, she's the one with the axe defending her sister from the migrant attackers. Ruby, Lola's older sister, who was attacked and hospitalized. and then Maya, Ruby's best friend, who was with them and went to call the police after Ruby was attacked by the migrants. Here's the summary of what happened from Maya's mother. So what happened was the girls were out just walking, and the man in the picture made comments to Lola, the younger girl, calling her sexy and other sexual remarks. Then the girls started to tell this man to leave them alone and stop following them and making sexual remarks to them. After that, the man's sister, also in the picture, came around the corner and physically attacked Ruby, the older sister. She grabbed her hair, dragged her to the floor, and started to punch her. Then both the man and woman were kicking her in the head and while she was on the floor. At this point, my daughter, Maya, called the police, so my daughter's account after that is all a bit blurry. But that is when Lola had the weapons. She pulled them out to protect Ruby. After that, the man came back at Lola, recording her, making sure she showed the weapons to the camera and antagonizing her. Ruby was hospitalized after the attack with a severe concussion, a tennis ball-sized lump to the back of her head, as well as lots of bruises. Okay. So that's right there. And so we already know this guy recording is like full of shit. And if you go to his Instagram account, where, you know, people were saying that the guy's just a Christian man that moved to the UK with his wife, and he's a genuine person, is just trying to do good for the country. There's more to that. And if I can find it here. All right. So this fucking faggot, Sam Bowman, let's see where you work. Editor at Works in Progress. So editor at Works in Progress magazine and Stripe Press. He tweeted or put on X that the guy who filmed the girl with an axe and kitchen knife is a married Bulgarian Christian who came here legally and was going to the shops with his wife when it happened. No charges being brought against him, and there is CCTV footage of what happened. So this faggot, Sam Bowman, who is an editor at probably really woke, retarded media companies in the UK, is trying to say that this is a good guy, just a Bulgarian Christian who came here legally with his wife, who is just trying to go shopping when this all happened. A 12-year-old girl tried to attack him with knives. I'm sure that's what really fucking happened, because 12-year-old girls act like that, right? And then Turning Point UK responded to that post with, "This is the man accused of harassing children and was threatened by the 14-year-old girl in Scotland. Fatos Ali Dumana," sounds like a fucking Bulgarian name, right? Fatos Ali Dumana, and a legal migrant, right? A self-described gypsy gangster man who has posted saying he is waiting for you whores to get in my supercar, is not a model migrant as the media claims. And yeah, if you go to his Instagram, oli.dumana.5, you can see he's a fucking faggot. He is a faggot, and yeah, he's up to no good. You got him saying gypsy gangster man on one picture. In another picture he posts, "I can with you, I can do with you, I can do without you, don't you forget it." And then in another picture, like Turning Point says, he goes, "I'm waiting for you whores to get in my supercar," where he's posing in front of a Porsche or something that's probably not his, because he's a broke immigrant. So yeah, they're just the media is completely lying about who this guy is and what was really going on. And to get even weirder, this comes from Steve Laws on X. There's more to this story than what we're being told. We all know how situations like this have played out in the past. And he posted 2 different news stories talking about Ruby and Lola Moore, which are the 2 sisters, regarding this whole situation. And this article says 2 sisters who were last seen visiting a Dundee shopping center have vanished as police launch an urgent search. And then this other article says police appeal for information over missing Skelmorlie teen. Ruby Moore was last seen at around 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, July 31st. So they were missing like months, like weeks prior to this situation happening. So who knows if this is a grooming gang, if they got away from their kidnappers and these were their actual kidnappers. And what's even weirder is now the UK, wherever this happened, is now seeking criminal charges against the girls, and they have been arrested, I think, and are being detained at the center. So who fucking knows what's going on? And we do know the history of situations like this. The fucking authorities go get people that escape their kidnappers and then give them back to the fucking grooming kidnappers. This has happened multiple times over in Europe. The UK is falling, and I mean, it's disgusting. So that's what I have on the UK knife girl, is what I'm calling her. I'm going to turn AC down a little bit. BRB. God damn. Shit was set at 80 goddamn degrees, boy. But yeah. Weird situation with those girls. I have no clue. I mean, obviously, if you watch the video, the girl wielding the knife is not just doing that just because. She definitely seems like she's in a bit of trouble. She's terrified. Her sister screaming is definitely terrified, screaming, "You just battered me, man. Leave us alone. Don't touch us." And I don't know. It's just random that this girl had knives and an axe to wield against guys like this. And then you realize that, well, these girls were missing like weeks before this. No one could find them. And then you start to think, like, did they escape? And these motherfucking assholes, these gypsy gangsters, these immigrants, not Bulgarian Christians, are now like stalking her, fucking with her, making sexual remarks, harassing them. It's almost like, did they escape you? And now you're trying to take them back, but now they have weapons, and now you're trying to get them criminally charged by wielding those weapons on camera. And what was the result? Well, the girls get arrested, which is complete bullshit. And I don't really know what's going on with them now. But it would be a really sick situation, disgusting, vile situation, if the authorities went and picked up these girls and returned them to the immigrants that were likely grooming them, who they escaped in the first place. I guess that's how the UK treats its people, its own people. So I don't know. That's what happens when you have high levels of government get infiltrated by, foreign entities and foreign actors. But I mean, we're experiencing something similar at the moment. But yeah, that's all I have on the UK knife girl. And I have a bunch of different links. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Here's something more that I had. This also comes from Aesthetica. So people have found a social media post by the gypsy gangster where he admits he and his sister put Ruby in the hospital, completely contradicting what he told to Daily Mail. So I can't even read this guy's message because it's in such broken English, and it's almost like Scottish mixed with whatever the fuck he's from mixed with English. So I'll just give you where he says that he definitely beat the shit out of one of the girls. So the 4 girls yesterday in Lockheed was attacked me and my sister without reason. I think there was no drugs, and my sister, to protect me, she punched one of them and sent to the hospital the girl with the knife. She was out of control. The mother, when she came, the mother was also on crack. So yeah, this guy just said that they put the girl in the hospital. The mother of one of them was on crack, which I don't know I mean, that has something that has a part in the girl situation, but not this guy's. Let's see if I have anything else. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, we went over everything. All right, cool. Okay, there's one more thing from Aesthetica. They had a part 2. So Aesthetica on X says, this will be part 2 of my reporting on this incident covering the police cover-up, the fake articles by the Daily Mail and others in the UK media, and an update of what has transpired since. First, let's get to some additional details that were not reported by the police or the media regarding the gypsy migrant who describes himself as the gypsy gangster. When the family arrived on scene, Fatos Ali Dumano was seen assaulting the police officers, spitting on them, and had to have a spit bag put on his head. After that, he was put into the back of police van where he went irate and was aggressively kicking the van from the inside. According to the family, the original CCTV footage that would have shown the entire series of events has now gone missing. In addition to the CCTV footage's miraculous disappearance, the family has tried to get hospital records from Ruby's hospital visit. Unfortunately, they were informed by the hospital that this request would take weeks. Have you ever heard of a simple hospital record taking weeks to get? Because of all the fake reports from media organizations like the Daily Mail, the families of the girls are in fear for their life. They've been harassed daily by the media, by the police, and by others in the community, branding them far-right racist, just for speaking the truth of what happened to their 12 and 13-year-old daughters. The police have also given them rape alarms and locks to put on their doors as there are reports of violent threats against them. It's become clear that the UK system is now designed to help the criminals and punish the victims. I'll continue to update this story as I hear more. So yeah, that's about the last of it I have of the girls. It's disgusting. There's definitely a huge cover-up going on there. They were missing weeks before, which I think is the most important part. But we'll see what the UK media and government does with all this information being out. Who knows? Here's something fun. I'm not going to go into all the information because it's way too much to go into. But if you want something fun to watch and you're looking for a good conspiracy that is juicy and most likely to be true, look into the Las Vegas shooting. I know I've already brought it up, but there is a YouTuber who goes by the name of Coop, Coop, on YouTube, like I said, and he does a bunch of deep dives into, Epstein, online conspiracies, a bunch of different shit, and he also did the Las Vegas shooting. Now, in the first episode, I forgot if I went over what he went over in the episode, but I mean, the amount of witnesses that were killed, the people that were on the scene that we haven't, that kind of just fell off the face of the earth. We have no clue where they were. Like one of the security guards that was working at the hotel at the time, the main witness who was supposedly shot in the leg, but on the CCTV footage, he's definitely not shot. We have no clue where he is. He was on the Ellen show giving his account of things, and then they never spoke about it again. His family says he was definitely paid off and living essentially rent-free from his role in this, but we'll never be able to find him. Who knows if he died, but the amount of witnesses that we have confirmed to have died is insane. Apparently the guy, I think, what's his name? I'm already forgetting the shooter's name that they framed. I'm a retard. Whatever. The shooter that they pinned everything on was using bump stocks, which is one of the hardest things to do if you want to be accurate. And from the location of where he was supposedly shooting from to the concert, it just makes zero sense that he would have been able to be accurate with a bump stock. It's insane. They've done videos on using a bump stock and how inaccurate it is. from just like 50 yards away. Think about shooting from the Mandalay Bay, one of the higher stories, all the way to the concert venue and headshotting people. And that makes zero sense. Also, the way he killed himself makes zero sense. The gun ended up behind him, but he shot himself like straight into the teeth. 2 bullets. You would have thought that the gun would just fall right in front of him or to the side, but the gun was like behind him, 5 to 10 feet behind him. That's weird. There's over 600 different calls coming into the police regarding active shooters around Las Vegas on that night. Makes zero sense that there was one shooter then. 600 calls. They were finding guns planted all over Las Vegas at different hotels that weren't the Mandalay Bay. In different locations, guns were being found, bullet casings being found. And then there were the helicopters that were flying around, which you can see on the flight radars leave where the company is that they work for is a helicopter company where you can rent helicopters, I'm guessing. You can see 3 helicopters leave, and then they come back around, hover over Mandalay Bay, and then turn off their flight signal so they can't be tracked. So that's weird. And you see helicopters and you see like muzzle explosions when you can see the light of the muzzle of guns going off in the dark. You can see those coming from helicopters and not any actual buildings. You can also see helicopters flying around. That's also really weird. We know that there was some Saudi royalty in Las Vegas that night, who were also having some type of like internal family civil war at the moment. And so we could have just been caught up in some type of Saudi family feud that resulted in a mini war that should have taken place on their soil, but took place on our soil. And there was a huge cover up to steer the public away from what actually happened. And that was a shitty, I guess, summary of facts regarding the Las Vegas shooting that would render the original narrative false. But if you want like a really deep dive, just go watch the videos that Coop made, COOP on YouTube. Ian Carroll also does a lot of great work on the Las Vegas shooting. So go watch his videos as well. I think something very fucking fishy happened that night. And what they told us was complete and utter horseshit. So if you want to, maybe, I'm not going to tell you you're going to get the right facts and the true facts of what actually happened, but you're going to get something closer to what actually happened by going and watching these videos and staying away from the mainstream narrative. Don't got much time left, but Netanyahu warns of nuclear attacks, 17 nuclear attacks by Iran across the United States and different states. I'm with Chase from InfoWars. That's probably saying Israel is going to launch false flag attacks, nuclear attacks across the U.S. and blame it on Iran. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Just wanted to bring it up. The last thing I wanted to bring up, and I'll make it, no, we got some time. The last thing I wanted to bring up was the huge security leak, email leak of Ehud Barak, who is the former prime minister of Israel and known to have visited Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion at over 30 times. So this is for everyone that wants to, play ball with the mainstream media and say that Epstein had no connection to Israel or any intelligence. In these emails of Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, they're flooded with conversation between him and Jeffrey Epstein and what they were doing regarding intelligence operations. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. All right, so this comes from Megatron on X. Breaking. Documents emerge for the first time showing Epstein was in coordination with Israel. A massive leak of former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak's emails, 100,000 emails, revealed that he and Jeffrey Epstein were talking about meeting Peter Thiel, who owns Palantir. Former Israeli PM Ehud Barak tells Jeffrey Epstein that he is trying to arrange it so the security guys will not come with us to the island. And so there's over 100,000 emails that people are going to be going through, and you're going to see that there was clear intelligence connections. And if you can't see that, I mean, you're either Helen Keller or, like I said, you had too many boosters this month. Stop getting boosters. You're getting fucking retarded. Come on. I wonder if any of the emails say that Peter Thiel was bending over JD Vance in the back of a fucking Circle K. That'd be hilarious. But, one correction I wanted to make. I said that Peter Thiel is going to be doing these seminars on an unknown subject soon. That subject is actually going to be on the Antichrist. So the gay conservative Silicon Valley Lord is going to be doing sermons or seminars on the Antichrist. I don't know if it's an autobiography or what, but he's doing something regarding the Antichrist. But he was also being spied on by Ehud Barak and Jeffrey Epstein, who we were told didn't kill himself, had no ties to intelligence, and was not connected to Israel, which all three are completely false. So, all right, that's it for today. Until next week, peace.
I don't claim I'm the most tough guy around, but compared to you, I'm Godzilla on steroids.
Stop saying shit like that.
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome?